Tune into Nice Radio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brereton Horne. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brereton Horne will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brereton Horne at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
A View from the Outside this week being the 16th of March 2019, we look at Think, T-H-I-N-K, Think, with the view being that with the celebrations of National Heroes Day behind us, and with the anticipation of the judgment or the ruling in the election petitions fast approaching, it is incumbent on all Vincentians to think about where St Vincent and the Grenadines as a nation go from here. The Macmillan Dictionary states that to think is to carefully consider facts in order to understand something, make a decision, or solve a problem. And the Longman Dictionary says that to think is to use your mind to decide about something or form an opinion, etc. What we glean from those definitions is that in order to understand something, in order to make a decision about something, in order to solve a problem, that we must carefully consider the facts of that something. It is only when we do so that we truly think. The definitions further tell us that when we think, we must engage the mind, our own minds. When we think, we form opinions, our own opinions. And then we make decisions based on those opinions, not necessarily what others tell us. And so, as we ponder the future, as we think, we as a nation must understand our current plight and plan and decide where we go from here and how we get there. As a nation, we need peace and security for every citizen, every Vincentian citizen. We need safety for every citizen. We need prosperity for every citizen. We need basic health care for every citizen. We need jobs for the unemployed. Our youths need to be engaged and feel part of the process and the development in the country. Each and every citizen deserves all of those things, irrespective of the social group, religion, or political party to which you as a citizen belong. And with all of those things, we, as a nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, need a government which will deliver them. We need a government which respects the Constitution and the law of the land. We need a government which respects and upholds the rule of law, not one which continually and persistently undermines it. We need a government which understands and practices the separation of powers, not one which dips its proverbial fingers into every organ of the state. A government we need which is interested in the dispensation of justice for all, not one which encourages two faces of justice, where especially the poor and non-supporters of the government feel the brunt of injustice. We need a government which provides accountability to the nation, which provides accountability to you, the people of the nation. One which provides accountability for spending your own money. One which provides audited financial statements as approved by the Director of Audit in a timely fashion, as obligated by the Constitution of the country. We need a government which does not have the father being the Prime Minister, the son being the Minister of Finance, and the son's wife heading the deemed Independent Financial Services Authority. We need a government which has job creation as a main priority to lift the near 50% of youths who are unemployed and others who are unemployed into employment. We need a government to remove citizens out of poverty, not one whose policies cause citizens to descend into poverty and then place them on social or public assistance and brag about it. We need a government to provide education for all, not one which brags about an education revolution, yet the school dropout rate is worryingly high and school buildings are unsafe and in disrepair. We need a government which provides health care which is fit for purpose, not one which oversees a health service in which basic medication and supplies are in short supply and where the poor and most vulnerable are severely affected. We need a government which does not mercilessly confiscate or acquire the lands of citizens and then refuse to pay them for their lands, even in cases where the court makes an order for them to be paid. We need a government to genuinely tackle crime and the causes of crime, not one which uses sweetly sounding taglines such as tough on crime and the causes of crime, but who, by the evidence after nearly 2 decades, cannot get a grasp on the escalating crime situation in the country. We need a government which restores agriculture to provide food security so that our people, so that you, the people of the nation, especially our farmers, can become again independent and self-sufficient. We need a government which has the ability and willingness to carry out investigations into corruption and to present findings to the people, even when top officials are named and allegedly involved in those corruption allegations. We need a government which does not put the interest of foreign investors over and above the interests of its own citizens. We need a government which does not dip wantonly into the National Insurance Service Fund, the NIS fund, and who do so, a government that does so to the detriment of the workers who pay in their contributions with the expectation of receiving a full pension. We need a government which conducts free and fair elections, not one which engages in skullduggery. We cannot continue as a nation to allow our citizens to be denigrated, degraded, and to be stripped bare of their dignity. We cannot continue to allow the victimization of our people. We cannot continue to allow our citizens to be economically assassinated and lynched. We cannot continue to allow the marginalization of one set of citizens of the country. It is because of all of that why we, on a view from the outside, encourage each and every Vincentian to think. Think about where we are and think about how we put an end to it. And think about how we move on. Irrespective of the outcome of the judgment or the ruling in the election petitions, we, on a view from the outside, say, let us all, each and every Vincentian, let us all be clear in our thinking, and let us ensure that we select a government that works positively to impact the life of every citizen, with the aim of building proud and enduring legacies in St Vincent and the Grenadines. Until next week, Randy and all of the listeners, this is Brereton Horne with a view from the outside, with a reminder, as usual, to send your feedback to aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. That's aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. We also invite you to visit our Facebook page, which is A View from the Outside. And we also ask you to visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel at JMB Horne, where you can get these programs and many more at your convenience. And so, Randy and all of the listeners, we wish you a pleasant Saturday, a wonderful Sunday, and a productive week ahead, where we think about moving St. Vincent and the Grenadines forward. All the best to you, Randy.